It's no secret that Call of Duty campaigns have been lacking lately, but with the release of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Treyarch has changed that. This campaign I completed in about 7 hours. Honestly, on the longer side of the campaigns, I played on normal, and I heavily enjoyed the time that I spent with this game. And after the immense disappointment that I had with Modern Warfare 3 not even being able to finish the game, at least for myself, even though I heavily enjoyed the multiplayer, the campaign this time around is truly amazing. So on Call of Duty Black Ops 6, we play as a new protagonist, named Case. I'm not going to be going into many major story spoilers, so as you watch this video, don't worry about being spoiled for this. I'm not going to be going into the ending, or really anything after the third mission of the game. Basically, the entire plot that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 relies on is a different organization, sort of a terrorist organization, trying to infiltrate its way into the CIA. And as we go on our 7 to 8 hour campaign, there are plenty of awesome missions that I'll be getting into later, but the cast of characters that you meet in this game is awesome. From Savati, Marshall, Woods, Felix, or Newman, and of course, one of the best introductions that I've seen to a campaign, the amazing reintroduction of Adler.
Everyone all right?
Is this your... No, 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 no!
Adler!
Stand down!
Wait till Woods gets a load of this. Goddamn Russell Adler, CIA traitor. You've been on the run, what, 10 months?
When first playing the first campaign mission and seeing that reintroduction to Adler, I actually got giddy. I was like, oh my god, it's Adler! And then realizing, he shot the guy we were going after. In between missions, there's also a house, or a base of operations that you are able to establish yourself at. And one cool thing about this base of operations is that it's actually sort of useful, right? Now, there's a whole system where you can purchase rooms like a shooting range or a little bit of an armory, and then you can also get operator perks out of that from money that you collect during the main missions of the campaign. There are plenty of operator perks to choose from, like upgrading your ammo capacity, your health, having the ability to shoot with one hand while equipping yourself with armor plates while using the other. Just a lot of useful perks that you can actually choose from that will fit your playstyle of how you play through this campaign and that are decently affordable. Each operator perk is about $250 for its first level, and then you can keep going as the level continues, but the main rooms also cost $500. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but the most I found in one situation was $1,000, and that was during a mission kind of centered around gathering, like robbing something. So, fair enough, right? You will have to be scavenging around a little bit. You can also pick money up off of enemies or while finding it in the field. Paying into these little areas that you can also use to get operator perks also gives you a little cutscene of Woods and Marshall, fixing it up, which I think is pretty cool. Just a little added touch. Just like Black Ops Cold War, dialogue options make a return. In between missions, you can speak with your teammates, offering in more insight on who they are, what their aspirations are. One little dialogue tree that I really liked was when Felix, or Newman, was making a stew, and you can talk to him about it, and he'll tell you how he's a pacifist, but even though he is a pacifist, how he doesn't like killing humans, that doesn't mean, he is not against killing animals, or, eating, animals. He's not vegetarian or vegan or anything. Just little bits of dialogue here and there that really make me feel for these characters, that, yes, I care about this character, I don't want anything bad to happen to them, and just something that I really enjoyed, that, it's not always just killing everyone, right? There's sometimes, even for 5 minutes, right, just talking to a few characters like Marshall, like Woods, you can have some decent dialogue with them, you can discuss stuff with Adler. I really do like those little sections of just talking. And the good part is, though, you can actually completely ignore all of that dialogue as well. You're not forced to go through it for any quest lines or anything. If you want, you can literally just start up the next mission. You'll get added context if you do talk to some of these characters for the story, but if you literally just want to play through a fun campaign, you can do that. One thing that really stood out to me about Black Ops 6 was the game's level design and maps. Having missions where you're infiltrating a church to assassinate a target, or the game just giving you free reign in a giant open world map with a bunch of little collectibles to find and loot to use while taking out certain outposts. There are one of these missions that are completely open world, kind of something that Modern Warfare 3 really used, but I feel like even though the map is kind of too big in some aspects, it's literally a perfect size. There's stuff to do every about 200 meters, and you do have access to a vehicle, and you have actually access to a squad. You have some teammates with you to go infiltrate these areas. Only issue I have with that mission is that the AI of your squad is really bad. So you'll have enemies doing their patrol routes, and then I'll have Adler right in front of them. like right in front of them, sneaking right in front of them. Like he's standing beside the guy and there's no detection, so it only matters if you get detected. Another mission that really stood out to me was actually infiltrating a political party's campaign, like seminar or party, and funny enough, it was actually Bill Clinton's. So he kind of does have some relevance. You can actually see him in the game too, talking with the senator, which I thought was pretty cool. And another thing that really stuck out to me is that the gameplay is super refined. The guns all feel good to use. The majority of them feel good to use. The snipers feel good to use. The machine guns feel good to use. A lot of the guns here are really fine-tuned, and I really enjoyed using all of them. Maybe the pistols I feel like just could be a bit more powerful, but the majority of the assault rifles, shotguns, especially the shotguns with Dragon's Breath, holy shit, I loved using those, just blowing enemies away. And the one thing to use this awesome weaponry on is like the sort of mini bosses and bosses that they added to the game. So there will be like in between sections of your levels, sometimes a soldier with like heavy armor, and they'll have like a health bar with like a minigun, right? And the game warns you, like duck down when you hear them revving the minigun and then shoot at them. What I like to do, and something that I found was really simple, and like there's also enemies with like shields that will block all your bullets and stuff like that. Throw a disruptor mine at them that will shock them, and they'll literally drop their shield. Like, they'll just get stunned. And it was the easiest way for me to kill these enemies, and it's cool because the game gives you that sandbox feeling of being able to use your environment and use the resources around you to kill these enemies and these bosses. And if there's one thing I love about first-person shooter campaigns, no matter its story, characters, narrative, whatever, is being able to use the environment and the resources that the developer gives you to execute what I want to execute, to kill the enemies that I need to kill in the most efficient way possible. And throwing a disruptor mine, making them get stunned, and then just absolutely unloading a magazine into them makes it awesome. And don't even get me started on the cutscenes in this game. Absolutely beautiful. I completed a mission, right? And I was like in a cutscene, sort of, and it was Marshall and Adler talking or whatever. It was like Marshall and Woods, and they were just talking about whatever. And I was just standing there, right? I thought it was a cutscene because of how good it looked. Turns out it was one of those scenes where like they're just doing their little like animated talking or whatever, and I'm able to walk around. It looks so good. I thought I was still in a cutscene. I didn't know it was actual gameplay. I didn't know I could play yet. And the CGI rendered cutscenes, oh my god, like gorgeous. I don't know what Treyarch, man, like what kind of technology y'all got over there, but just everything looks beautiful. Even the environments. The first level is unnecessarily orange, but it looks damn good with the sand and the lighting, just absolutely beautiful. Again, Treyarch, y'all went off on the graphics here. I am super happy that this game not only plays good, but it visually looks good. The only, like, again, thing that I could criticize about the graphics is that the sand map, like the open world map I mentioned earlier, kind of looks a bit off. Like just the sand looks a bit like low texture, low res, but overall it still looks really good as a graphical showcase for a Call of Duty game, I'd say. Lockpicking is also a mechanic in the game that we've seen in past Call of Duties. There's a new hacking kind of minigame, at least I think it's new, that literally plays like Wordle. And I got stuck on one hack for like a solid 5 minutes. I was getting pissed off. I had to go take a break. But it's fun, right? Like, I mean, I could play this normally. It's literally just Wordle, right? Like, you'll put in the numbers. It'll tell you if that number's not on the passcode or if it needs to be moved or if it's correct. I actually really enjoyed that. I'm hoping that makes a return in future Call of Duty campaigns because I actually really did like that hacking minigame. Another really cool detail about Black Ops 6 is that when you assassinate enemies, you knock them unconscious, you kill them stealthily, and if an enemy finds that body, they'll actually call out their name. Or if you shoot someone, they'll be like, "No, Richard!" And I thought that was cool. I mean, it's something that The Last of Us 2 boasted years ago, but for a Call of Duty campaign, I honestly wouldn't have thought that Treyarch would put in that effort to name the characters or make, like, the enemies or, their friends, call them out if they die or if they find a corpse or whatever. I actually think that's something cool that doesn't really bring life to the characters, but it kind of adds, like, these people know each other, right? Like, they're soldiers, they know what they're doing, they're all buddies, and, like, they'll call for each other. And then there's just, you as Case just, like, sniping them with your silenced pistol, like, 20 feet away. But even after all the praise that I've given to Black Ops 6, there are a few criticisms and, like, systems that I really feel like Treyarch should do better. First, the stealth. It's useless. I plan on normal again. The stealth is garbage, especially in the open world, like, sections. The one level, it's awful. Like, I drove in front of a patrol and they didn't care until I got out. Even once I got out, they didn't care until I shot a guy. Like, they have little markers that'll go up if they see you, but like in normal sections, like normal closed sections, I feel like their markers go up too quickly. So it's either, in the open world section, it's either they don't go up at all and you could be right in front of them. Like, I just ran one over and the other one does not care, or like it'll be like, "Oh, you saw me for the splittest of a split second? Oh, I saw you, now your entire stealth section is ruined here." Another criticism I've had for Black Ops 6 is the ending, and I'm not going to be spoiling it, but it ends super abruptly. Like, I really feel like you just complete the final mission, and then it's the cutscene, and then that's it. I'm like, I really feel like there could have been like another 2 hours to the game, like another hour to the game here. Like, there could have been another mission maybe, or even like before the final mission, there should have been something else to like bring that together, because like there's 11 missions in this campaign and it's a long one. Each mission is about 30-40 minutes, like depending on the amount of time you put into it, and it's a longer campaign, but I just really feel like it ends abruptly. Now, if you were to ask me what I would give Black Ops 6 on a 1 to 10 scale on its campaign alone, I would say an 8 out of 10. I would say an 8 out of 10, and I would comparatively give Cold War an 8 out of 10 as well, because I feel like Cold War does a story and writing situations, like those narrative situations, better, but the level design could be a bit worse. But in Black Ops 6, I really feel like the gameplay and level design and everything like that carries, like heavily carries this game. Even though, again, the narrative is not bad in this game at all. I think it's a solid narrative, but it feels more generic, kind of like it's still good. It's still very good for a COD campaign, but it's on the lesser scale than what we had in Cold War. But that gameplay, that level design, and just the fun you feel when you play this game really elevate that score for me. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Have you played the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign? Have you not? Have you watched this review to get your initial thoughts on it, if you should buy it or play it through Xbox Game Pass? In my opinion, if you have Game Pass, you gotta play this campaign. Look, it's like, what, 12 bucks or like $20, whatever, for the 1 month subscription. Play the campaign, okay? And then you also get access to the multiplayer, and I'll be making a completely different multiplayer review in the future of what I think about its initial launch. But right now, this campaign is definitely worth it if you have paid it through Xbox Game Pass. Now, if you buy it, the whole game outright, for the $70 price tag just for the campaign, that's basically up to you. I don't know. Like, what I've said in this review, I would really feel like you should take, and like, yes, is this worth $70? I would not pay $70 for this campaign, but that's just me because it's in Game Pass anyway, so I probably wouldn't, but let me know. But thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you so choose to. Thank you all for watching this video once again, and I will see you guys in the next video.